So stats are out for the Greater Toronto Area in the month of July, and as we've been trending through the month of August, it's been interesting to see where things have come from into the summer market as we've been going along. I'm Michael Ouzas. I'm a realtor in the Greater Toronto Area, and if you ever want to book in a call with me, click on that first link in the description down below. So let's take a look at the Greater Toronto Area market stats for July 2023. Average price $1,118,000, up 4.2%. Active listings up 0.3%, just over 15,000, and total sales just over 5,200 at 7.8% increase from last year. And if we look at the months of inventory, we're at that 2.93, so about 3 months of inventory, which is kind of on the cusp between a seller's and a balanced market. If we look at condos, average price for condos $735,000. That's up 2.2% year over year, and 10% increase in condo sales. Last year, the average price was $719,000 at this time, and condo sales were $1,365. And if we take a look at Toronto proper, very similar when it comes to the price increase, $1,066,000 on average. Active listing just over 6,000, up 3% from last year. And total sales just under 1,900, also up about 3% from last year. This is a big jump from last month, 3.21 months of inventory, which we've been seeing that kind of hover in and around that 3 in the last couple of months. And average sale price down 9% year over year when it comes to condos, $676,000, whereas last year at this time, about $744,000 was the average price. I do think this may be attributed to the entry-level condo market where we're seeing lower price points when it comes to getting in around that, let's say, 500,000 to 600,000 mark compared to where things were at this time of last year. Condo sales up 5%, just over 1,000. If we take a look at the 416 and 905 for July, in the detached sector, there were 518 sales in 416. Over 1,800 sales in the 905 for a total of 2,378. The average price in the 416 for a detached just under 1.65 million, and average price in 905 just under 1.37 million for an average total of 1.427. You can take a look at these numbers. One thing that did stand out to me was how the average price of a condo outside of the 416 is starting to bridge the gap closer and closer to that 416 price point. Average price in all was $735,000, but almost $700,000 for a condo in 905 versus $750 for a condo in the 416. That's less than a 10% margin. Let's jump over to this monthly sales data, and it shows the trend of where things were last year in July versus where things are now. And it also compares as we go along through the winter months. Number of sales last year just under 5,000 or 4,912. This year, just over 5,000, 5,250. But if we look at January and December, we were down in that 3,100 mark. So not a lot of sales in that December, January. And things started to trend up as we've gone along here through the year, with May being the highest at over 9,000 sales, which is pretty typical for a spring market. If we look at the active listings, over 15,000 last year in July. We haven't seen that number until this July, actually. So as we got through December and January, we hit a couple lows here of 8,600 active listings, and in January, 9,300 active listings. And then things started ticking up since. Months of inventory in July last year, over 3 months of inventory. And then we didn't see that until January. And now we're creeping back up to that 3 months. And we saw a low of 1.32 months of inventory in May. And if you're watching these videos, you saw the price points increase throughout March, April, and May. We take a look at the average price, $1,074,000 last year in July 2022, which hit that low point in January of 2023 and then hit the high point, almost 1.2 million in May of 2023. And now we're back to about 1,120,000, which is kind of where things were, give or take, in March. Average days on market have been hovering around that 20 days and did hit a high of December and January here, almost 30 days on market. On this dot chart of the Toronto Real Estate Board average price, that peak of February 2022 is still holding strong today. Last year at this time, things definitely decreased. Remember, in July of 2022, that's when they did that 1% increase when it came to interest rates. Things trended downwards since and just hovered along through the rest of the year, with that low point again being in January. We did see that uptick through the spring market, and now things have settled in here. We did see that uptick through the spring market, and now as we're in the midst of summer, things have been their lowest here in July. And it'll be interesting to see where the August number comes in at in the next few weeks. If we take a look at the benchmark price over time from January 2023, that uptick through May and June, and things have been kind of leveled off here in July. Same story for townhouses and condos across the board. Looking at Toronto proper, it is also giving us the exact same setup here of things trending from January through June on an upward trajectory, and then a little bit of a drop off here in July. So I'm really curious to hear your thoughts when it comes to these Toronto market stats. And is this a seasonal change, or is this something that we may see throughout the year? If things do increase in September, it may put more of a pause on inventory coming back to the market. And if there's less inventory coming to market, that may bring more competition for the properties that are on the market. If they decide to hold rates where they are, that'll also be interesting to see where things play out as we get into that fall market. And I do think that September will be kind of that telling point of where things are going to go for the rest of the year. I'm Michael Ouzas. Thanks for watching.